Well, the big news has just popped up and has been confirmed in the official communication of the club, Real Madrid. I will give you a little bit more details right now. Muy buena mi gente, aquí nos encontramos nuevamente en otro programa de fútbol con Mbapper.
Dentro del área, golpea Petit, Zidane y gol. Ha marcado Zidane el 1-0 para Francia.
Welcome everybody, and here we go, another show of Football con Bamban. And yes, I do have to apologize because I was on vacation last week. I was on a cruise. I was in the magical cruise of Royal Caribbean Icons of the Seas. We did had an amazing time in this vacation with my family, but that did not allow me to be able to produce recordings and give to you guys how was everything setting up for this final of the Champions League where Real Madrid was going to be matching against Borussia Dortmund. We saw on Saturday how Real Madrid overcame over Borussia Dortmund, winning 2-0 with the goal of Dani Carvajal with the header and the assistance of Toni Kroos, and then the magical interception from Jude Bellingham, giving the assistance to Vinicius Jr., in that way earning the first trophy for Jude Bellingham, but the second trophy for Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. made a record by scoring 2 finals in a row in the Champions League, and also the goodbye to Toni Kroos as a player of Real Madrid. But this gave the 15. There was celebration. I have to confess, I had over 20 hours of driving that had to be made. And on Saturday, I put my wife to drive. In the meantime, I was watching the match in live through my phone. Then it came out to be that the entire day was the celebration from Cibele's presentation with the president of Madrid and the mayor of Madrid, and then the Cibeles, then in Bernabeu. All of that, I was watching it live as my wife was torture driving us for the remainder of the driving. And after that was completed, then I continued to drive myself. But it was an amazing experience. This is something that I was so excited. I was waiting to get home to be able to record, but I was beat. I was not able to record. And then I woke up this morning, and after a couple meetings and everything and catching up with my job, it came out to be that a huge news was ringing the whole day. And we saw initially Archaf actually saying goodbye to Kylian Mbappe, giving an indicative that something was going to come up. We saw Fabrizio Romano come this weekend and say that Kylian Mbappe has signed with Real Madrid, but nothing was official from the club. And then we saw Titi Henry today present his list for the Olympic Games, and explaining that Kylian Mbappe unfortunately would not be part of the Olympic team because of reasons that is out of his hands and because the club owner did not allow it. Now, we know Real Madrid has been emphatic in saying no French player will play for the Olympic team. They will give permission to play for the national team, but not for the Olympic teams. It's an extreme amount of games to be played in the summer, less rest for the players, and there's a big schedule for next season, knowing that there's a World Cup of clubs that is going to be occurring next year. Also, and Real Madrid is tempted, or at least aiming to try to see if they can lift up that first cup. That is going to be something that is celebrated every 4 years. We know that the Confederate a tournament has been canceled, so therefore the FIFA has incorporated the new World Cup for the clubs, and this is going to be an interesting strategy where it's going to be more games. Therefore, Real Madrid needs their player fresh and not exploited. Plus, you see the Champions League coming around and a lot of things going on. So therefore, Real Madrid has not given that permission because they want their players ready for next year. And this is one of the reasons why Real Madrid is trying to avoid any possible injury. Having that said, it came out to be confessed that Real Madrid has thrown an official communication letter saying and confirming that after all these years, Kylian Mbappe is officially a Real Madrid player for next season. This is exciting, my people. This is something that this has been long 7 years, and I've been bullied all over the place, especially 2 years ago when it came out to be that Kylian Mbappe was eligible to sign with Real Madrid, coming as a free agent, and decided to be an extension. And of course, everybody understood that it was $680 million in between that made him change his mind and not be able to join Real Madrid. But put it this way, He's coming at the beginning of his prime, 25 years old. This kid has just signed 5-year contract with Real Madrid. He's considered one of the best players in the world, actually, right now, in junction with Jude Bellingham, who's only 20, Vinicius Jr., who's only 23 years old. And all three of them are going to be playing in the same squad. Without entering into the maximum abilities, you're going to be talking about having Rodrigo Goes playing in the squad and being supplied by Luka Modric, Chouameni, Camavinga, Fede Valverde, Brahim Diaz, Alda Gulel. Oh my God. And I can continue on and on about the abilities that these guys are going to have, serving them balls consistently to be able to score. Real Madrid right now is the current La Liga champion and the current Champions League king of Europe. And you imagine all this occurred without a magnificent player like Kylian Mbappe in our squad. Today is the day that officially the entire world is just saying, how are we going to approach next season this Real Madrid team? Where you see a Vinicius Jr., if you saw the final match, you saw what he did to the defender in Borussia Dortmund. He's showing this over and over and over again, how his speed, his ability of playing football is just growing every year, getting better and better. He's scoring more and more goals every year. You saw Jude Bellingham explode at the age of 20, that he's still not even touching his prime. And he's exploding already about showing how he can play. And then Rodrigo Goes, when you saw him, that he did not shy from key moments, and he's capable to turn around and out dribble 4 and 5 players in the field. And then now you add the speedster of Kylian Mbappe, the ability and the goal scorer. It's going to be incredible. I can't even talk about how incredible this is. I apologize for coughing that much. This is incredible. And I'm excited. I'm excited because we're back and we're talking. And this is going to be the conversation of this entire summer. European League, Copa America, training for preseason. I can't wait to see the presentation of Kylian Mbappe. Where it's expected to occur between the 16th to the 18th of July. Why July? PSG still has a commitment with Kylian Mbappe. He's formerly a player, or he's still a player for PSG until the 30th of June. Therefore, Real Madrid wanted to avoid any possible sues, compensation, anything to do with PSG until the end of June. Now, the European national team have their players also there, and the tournament's going to be ongoing at that time. And therefore, the final, if France makes it to the final, where they're heavily favored to be able to do that, it will end right before the 16th of July. Therefore, Real Madrid is preparing and having this entire month and a half to be able to make this the most magnificent presentation. And there's been rumors from people already, planners that were planning already from previous years, saying that Real Madrid wants to make this the most memorable presentation ever. So we cannot wait to be seeing this. I know Bernabeu is going to be exploding. And this new stadium, we already saw with Taylor Swift concert. We already saw with the presentation of celebration from the Champions League championship. It was incredible in the stadium. I can't even imagine how incredible is going to be this presentation for a player that Florentino really put his eyes on and wanted to acquire for the longest time. So finally, after 7 years, Kylian Mbappe is joining Real Madrid, and he's going to be the next acquisition of Real Madrid. I hope you enjoyed this show. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, subscribe to this channel, hit that like button. Now that I'm here, we're making more shows. We're more excited. This is going to be exciting. And yes, we will continue to give you guys all the news, because this is not it. We know there's a couple names coming through. The young phenom from River Plate, it's going to be finalized and signed. He won't be joining Real Madrid most likely into 2025, even though he has a European passport and he's able and eligible to be able to play in Spain. But we know that's not going to be something that Real Madrid is looking forward into 2025. But there is 3 players: Lenny Yoro, Alexander-Arnold, and Alfonso Davies. Those are three players from the defense side that they're still in that consideration. And we haven't talked about Endrick, which is the striker from Brazil, young phenom who's going to have an amazing Copa de America this summer in the United States. So this is exciting times for Real Madrid because Real Madrid is already thinking about that final in the Allianz Arena in Munich. So it's going to be amazing. We will still continue to give you guys program, and we're excited about this. So cannot miss the next show of what? Fútbol con Bamban. Ciao!